Hello there, and welcome to another Selezen stream. Yeah, okay, let's call it that. Something a bit different today. I'm doing a bit of an extra stream because I thought I'm going to do a repair on a phone. So this is the phone. It's my wife's old Nokia Lumia phone, and it's not been charging. So you plug a charger into it and it does bugger all. We had it on charge for about a month, and it didn't charge up at all. So I thought I'd have a go at trying to fix it. So after trying to do a bit of diagnostics on it and working out what was going on, the only thing I really noticed has been that the charging port, when you plug the charger into it, is very, very loose. Maybe have a look at that there. That's very, very, very loose in there. So I'm just wondering if that is maybe a bit faulty. So what I've done is I've ordered a new charging port, and I'm going to try and fit it. And I thought I was going to record it and do it as just an ordinary video, but I thought, you know what, I think I'll stream it, because it's something a bit different. It's not something I tend to do very often, and it's always good to see if anybody has any comments or if anybody sees something sort of live online and is interested by it. Yeah, so I thought I'd give it a go. So essentially, in order to change the charging port in the end of that, you have to change pretty much all this stuff up here. So you've got the microphone there, you've got the audio cable port there, and you've got the charging port there. So I need to change all three of those, and all three are contained on this cable. So you've got the charging port, your mic socket, headphone socket, sorry, and a microphone. So I'm going to just pop that out the bag just now, take a quick look. So that's your charging socket there. Some bits and pieces. The microphone is there, and your thing is there. So yeah, I thought I'd do it on live on stream, just so I've got something different to talk about. It's not all about games, you know, and this will end up on YouTube at some point as well, as I say, in the edited highlights. I am going to be following some instructions because I don't know everything about this thing myself. I have taken some bits apart. I've tried to look at the battery, because the way I've done this is I've tried to look at a lot of different options first of all, rather than going straight for trying to strip the thing. So I looked at the potential possibility of the battery being buggered. But the thing is, we're not actually getting any charge to the battery, so I don't think the battery is actually at fault. A little bit of mucking about with the charging cable, sort of slowly plugging it in out of there, made this little light, the little Windows light, did actually come on. So it was getting something, but if you plug it fully in, nothing would come up. So it was also getting some charge from it, but it wasn't lasting very long, and then it would stop charging. It tended to indicate to me that it was more to do with the charging cable plug. I know my wife can be a little bit nasty with charging plugs. I mean, she's gone through something on the order of 7 or 8 charging cables on her iPhone, and it's just, well, the iPhone's charging plug is very robust. Otherwise, she wouldn't have a phone. So what I'll do is I'm going to take this plate off first. This is the bit I know how to do. Now, I don't have much in the way of micro tools for this sort of job, so a lot of you people out there who do this on a regular basis, or do it for a living, if you're watching this, will probably think to yourselves, what the hell are you doing? Here's a letter. And yes, I am. I'm an amateur. But the way I see it is, this phone's broken anyway. There's no way I can get it working without fixing it. I'm not really willing to pay the amount of money that people would charge me to fix this phone. So I'm just going for the brute force and ignorance option. So let's see. One thing I do think I need is a pair of tweezers, but that's one thing I don't have. I know this is stuck down on a sticky pad. So let me see what I've got in the way of stuff I can use to lever it off. This is the first part where you'll start thinking, no! Because what's he going to use to lever it off with? He's just going to use the first thing that comes to hand that's pointy and sharp. But you can't find anything, so he's probably going to use a screwdriver in that case, because he's that much of a nutter. I'll put my toolkit over there. So that's the lid, by the way, in case you didn't know. So yeah, I need to get that off of there. As I say, it's like a little sticky pad underneath the bolt on. I have had this bit off already to take a look at the battery. bit done, which lets us release some of these plugs. That's one that holds the battery in, that's one that powers the battery. That needs to come off as well, I don't know why, but it does. That needs to come off. That needs to come off. Right, so I need to change the head here, because apparently these bits need to come off as well. So let's have a look back through my my video. It's quite an interesting thing to do this. Okay, so there is a little plug on there, that I need to unplug because that connects the case, the screen I think actually, to the main board, because the main board has to come out before I can get enough leeway to get this on. Take this board out basically, so that comes off there. Does that come off as well? Yep. That comes off, that comes off, that comes off. These two little screws need to come out as well. Oops. So that comes off there. Tweezers would have been useful, but I don't have any tweezers, unfortunately. So what we're trying to do is we need to get this board out. We need to make sure that all these connectors are off, and then try and prise this out from the main case. Let me double check that I've got all the screws and connectors off. It's not a particularly exciting thing to do this, but it is technically interesting, I hope. And although I'm probably not going to get much in the way of views on Twitch, at least, I'm hoping that as far as technical things are concerned, it's going to be at least kind of useful. Okay, so it still seems quite firmly embedded in there. I'm just wondering what else I've maybe not undone. a second as well, I'll look this up. Nothing apparent. So all of that stuff should be out. It's just a matter of trying to get this board up now. This should pop up. It seems to be quite bedded in. Showing this bit, which is odd. There's no other screws that I can see that are on there that would be holding it in place. That shouldn't be holding it in. I've unplugged everything around there, so pretty certain this should just pop out. It's just getting the leverage in the right place and making sure I don't accidentally snap anything or apologies for the obscuring nature of my hand. Yeah, it's quite firmly wedged. I haven't missed a screw, have I? I don't think so. Can't see anything else that I've missed. It should be coming out fairly easy. Yeah, you see, that seems to come up fairly easy. That comes up fairly easy. Is that a clip there that's holding it in place? It could well be. So I'll pull that back, then try and lift. There we go. Little cunning little clip there. And now all the cables are going to hold it in place now. So that comes out like that. So there we go. And I believe that comes out of there. Okay, so this, if you look, is the same cable that's coming from here. So that's the bit that goes there. So rather easily by the look of it, we just have to so what's that? That's the camera. Let's move that out of the way because it covers up the microphone as well. Bring it over here a bit so you can see it a little better. I've got a pair of pliers I can use that's going to make it a little easier for you to see what's going on. So that should make it easier for you guys to see what's happening. So essentially that needs to be popped out of there. I need to just dislodge the microphone from in there. I don't want to use too much brute force and ignorance here, because if I do, it's got sticky on it, that's why. As long as the sticky stays in place on there, that'll make it easy to get that out. So that's how that goes in there. So that's our old microphone and charging port. Just a sticky pad just in there that holds the microphone in place. So what we need to do is make sure we get that all put back in the same way. So if we look at the way that microphone and that microphone are set up, obviously we've got things the right way up as there, but we have to have it folded. So it should look kind of like that. So that's the way we should have it looking, just there. So if I just hold that in place for you so you can see that. There you go. Heads are in. Hello there mate, how you doing? Why am I disassembling it? Because it's broken. Essentially, this is my wife's very old phone. She had this for a while, back in 2013, I think it was, 2014 possibly, and it didn't last very long as a phone because she wasn't overly keen on the Windows operating system, so she went back to using her iPhone 4 at the time. Primarily because what had happened was it stopped charging, and it wouldn't charge at all, and just wasn't working. Wouldn't hold a charge, wouldn't even take a charge, wouldn't even notice that it was charging. There was a lot of things that were going around at the time that it meant that the battery had completely discharged and it would never charge again. And obviously I'm looking at trying to get it working again. I don't know why, just because. I think the main reason is because essentially it has a lot of her photos on it and she wants the photos back. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get it working again. So I can at least do that and then at least have another phone kicking around that I can use for whatever I need to use it for. It's just because and it's a bit of fun, more than anything else. Something a bit more technical, a bit more interesting, rather than playing games all the time. Yeah, so that's that done. So that's the hopefully faulty one. And as I said, there's two options that I've got with this phone, Edarin, and one of them is, as I was saying at the start of the thing, is that this bit, the charging port, you can't see it because the camera's not on autofocus. The charging port is very, very loose, and the cable doesn't fit in it very well. And I'm hoping that's part of the problem. There was a few bits and pieces that happened while I was trying to test the phone, whereas I was plugging the plug in very, very slowly, and it would get a little bit of a charging light would come on, but then it wouldn't do anything. And then if you let this plug go all the way into the phone, it wouldn't work, so it wasn't charging. And I've got a funny feeling that the little pin inside that your charging cable kind of wraps around, you can't really see it very well there, has actually been broken, because Anne's not particularly kind to her phones, and I'm hoping that's the reason why it's not charging. If it's not that, then obviously the next step will be to replace the battery, which is much the same process as what I'm doing now, but instead of faffing around with this end, I'm faffing around with that end. I've got a spare one. I have a spare plug. I bought a spare plug. So this is my new plug. This is my old plug. Throw that one away. So what I'm going to try and do is put this back in place now. So that's that in there. Just make sure we get everything in the right place. That's that through. Charging plug slots in there like so. And the microphone, hopefully will go back happily onto its sticky pad. Maybe I should do that first actually. Microphone. Apologies me not seeing this very well. It's difficult to try and do this and keep you a lot of visual happiness on there. So that should fit into there. There we go. That was the bit I was worried about wasn't going to work very well. So if I just push that in more firmly with the pliers. That looks right. Microphone is in. Now that bit, I believe that wraps around there, and that's the little doobry that holds it all in place. Avec ça. Yeah, I mean, if you're saying have I got a spare Lumia, then no. But then, nothing ventured, nothing gained with this. It's not working, so as long as it doesn't explode in my face, then it's more of a good thing. As I say, the only reason that Anne wants it kind of fixed is to try and get the photos and stuff on it, because there's photos of the grandkids and stuff on there that she's missing. So she'd like to get them back if she possibly can. And as I said, there's two things that potentially could be wrong with the phone. One, the battery itself is screwed, and two, the main part there is screwed. So that's. Oops, I've actually forgotten to put a bit back on. Silly boy, hang on. It's not going to get very far without its camera, is it? Let's slide that back off again. Pop the camera back in. I'm trying to work out which way around it went now. God, you really ought to look at these things before you do it, aren't you? Shouldn't ya? Just checking my reference pics. Come on, in you go. There we go. Spare charge one. Well, yeah. As I say, I have fitted in new one, so yes. My original answer was the correct one, and the one you expected, which is always good. Okay, that's that back in place now. So wrap that back round there again, and slot it back on. There we go. Okay, so that's obviously our power charging plug. Now what else have we got? Have we got everything else that we need? Everything is back in place, so motherboard. Right, so if I tilt that around that way and coming from this angle, you should be able to see it quite well. Right, so come in there. We'll just drag that plug back out this way while I put the cover on. Like so. Like so. So I don't have anything caught underneath there, do I? No. Good. Okay. That should just slot back on there. And we're back in. No. Not quite. There we go. Everything is back in place. Apologies for a little break in sound there. My living son picks his times to pop through the door. Right, so if I pop that plug back on. The new plug should slot onto there. That sounded good. Camera should pop back onto there. It was on. Just didn't feel it click. Okay. That pops on there. That pops on there. Okay. This little bit pops on there. Hold that in place. Grab the teeny tiny screw. Put the right nose in the screwdriver. Interesting that the port's not sold in the motherboard. Yeah, it's I was quite surprised by that. Nothing's soldered in place. Nothing's actually stuck on. It's all very, very loose. You just take out 5 screws and you take the entire main board out, which is quite interesting. It's the first phone I've seen that's so easy to take apart, even though it's supposed to be non-user maintainable. Obviously, I've completely voided the warranty with this. It's my old. Do you mean it's that old? It's not that old. It's just it's a Nokia, or sort of Nokia just after they were taken over by Microsoft, I think. So it's not. It's a bizarre kind of hybrid of Nokia trying to be kind to their customers and let them maintain the phone easily without any overly complicated things to do, and Microsoft trying to keep everything stum. So obviously there's no external SIM card slot or anything like that. This is the hardest bit, this little plug. There we go. And that should be it. So we'll just pop this bit back on now. He says, we're throwing it everywhere. And that's meant to, is that meant to actually cover all that? Yes, it is. It's not that one. That one goes over the top and everything else goes underneath. Ugh. Non-magnetic screwdrivers. I love this little precision thing I've got to be magnetic, but it's not. It was cheap. There, that's good enough. Right. Get in. Screw 2. And where's the other one? Let's leave the most complicated screw till last, just because that's the way I roll. Why can they never just go into where they're meant to go when I drop them on? Right, in there, on there, there we go. Poke you in there. There we go. Last screw. Okay, so that basically is how you replace the charging port and microphone and headphone port for a Nokia 925. I've had some kind of 800 series Lumia. The breathe keys did 2 times died. God. Yeah, that's what this button's meant to be, the breathe key. Right, so I'm going to gently pop the back on just to protect the innards while I do the next part, which is actually see if it worked. I mean, if nothing else, it's a good tutorial to show you how to remove and replace that particular part. But in the case of this phone, there's only like a 50% expectation that it's going to work, because if it's the battery that is screwed, then obviously we are not going to have a happy time. So here's our genuine Nokia cable. Now what we're looking for is this light hopefully lighting up. If that happens, I'll be a happy chappy. Oh my god, it worked! The light actually came on. That was actually quite positive. This didn't make it any worse. The light's gone off again, which I'm a bit concerned about. So let's take that back out again and put it back in again, just to see what happens. So as we're pushing it in, when it clicks all the way in, it's fine. It's actually still as loose as it was, to be honest, which I'm not overly impressed about. So it wasn't the looseness that gave away, but all in all, that was quite a successful operation. Did what I intended to do, did what I set out for, accomplished the goal. Now we just have to leave it for X amount of time and see if it actually charges the phone. But it has worked to some extent, because before, when I was putting that plug all the way in, it wasn't lighting that light up. It was only lighting it up literally as it passed a certain point on the plug. So I'm hoping that that is a sign that it has done something a bit better. You can't see the big thumbs. So I'm not sure if this breathe button is meant to keep breathing. My other concern is, like I said, when we were first looking into why this phone had broken, one of the things we'd noted was that if the battery goes completely flat, then you can find that it doesn't come back to life again. But you just have to wait and see. Obviously, with battery being flat as long as this one has, about 3 years, it may take a little bit of time to charge up. So I'm not going to be able to put the ending of this video as being the phone coming back online, because it's just not that quick to charge. But no, that's quite a successful operation. I think we've done quite well. And there's your broken spare part. So yeah, I'm going to call that a day. That worked out quite well. Thank you for watching this week and Edering. I'm glad I did something a bit different today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then obviously leave me some comments. I'll stick this on YouTube at some point as well, and if I do that, then jumps that one was licking its contact. I can't condone that for safety reasons, dude. Honestly, if it works, it works, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's a recommended Nokia repair tactic. But yeah, whatever works. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how this goes. What I might do is, when I do my regular stream on Monday, I will possibly do an update on how things went, or I'll put an annotation on YouTube to say how it went. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. So thank you for watching, everyone, and see you soon.